we're not here to help each other, then what are we here for, really? My name is Ruth Rusey. I help kids prepare.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
Hello. Welcome to the Kocktail Social. This is Be Exposed Radio, and I'm your host, Blue Waters, and we are the socialites for this show. Say hello, everybody.
Hey,
it's
guys.
a Friday. Happy Friday, everybody. We are here. I'm happy to be here. It's been a long week.
Get out of my head. They are crazy.
We already have our cocktails. I hope you have your cocktails ready. And before we begin, I'm going to just talk about some things going on around Baltimore this week.
Yes.
This weekend. So today, at this moment,
Right now.
Project PS is going on at the Peel Center.
Oh, good.
And it's hosted by the Institute of Visionary History and the Archives of the Deep Now. That's at 225 North Holiday Street. And it's going to be taking place throughout the whole weekend. And tickets are available right now. And at UMBC, it's the all-white affair with Maze featuring Frankie Beverly. And they will have the Whispers, Freddie Jackson, and Angela Wimbush. That's going to be a good-ass show.
Yeah.
That's a good show.
I hate them Whisper Twins, though. I don't mean no harm.
Wait a minute. Why you hate them, though?
That's a strong way.
Whenever I see them, it reminds me of Christmas.
Wait a minute.
Every time I see them Whisper Twins, it reminds me of Christmas.
I don't like them Whisper Twins. I don't like how they agitate looking.
Wait a minute. Because they're
Somebody
mustache.
agitate
They hair,
looking.
they got that poofy hair.
It
like
is a lot of hair.
microphones And them big mustaches. I don't like them.
Oh, it can't stand her. Church microphone.
The back of their head probably smell like spit mist.
Oh my God!
They say all the P words on the back of their head and shit.
Wait a minute. That is hate.
I love it.
Down at Patterson Park, there is the Twilight Swim Takeover. And that's at 148 South
Wait,
Linwood.
what is that mean?
Start at 8 p.m. And it's $5 to get in, and from what I'm seeing, it's sold out. So if you ain't get your tickets, you ain't going to be making no soup in that pool.
Dang.
Because there's going to be a lot of people down in that pool.
I wanted to go.
I'm going to go too.
It's over.
What you doing to the light?
Another thing that's going on around Baltimore is the Girls Rule Dance Party at the Auto Bar.
Okay.
That's 2549 North Howard Street. And it's free. And it starts at 10 p.m. So if you're a girl and you're trying to get your groove on tonight, guys, all the girls are going to be at the Girls Rule Dance Party at the Auto Bar.
Yeah.
And then for the family, there's the Outdoor Family Movie Night, hosted by the Journey of Faith Church.
Oh, well, bless
7902 Liberty Heights Avenue. Children under 18 must be accompanied by a responsible adult. Children over 18.
It's not a drop-off service.
Children
It's not
over
a drop-off
18
service.
must be watched. Because you know them children over 18 is the ones that be hiding under the pews and stuff like that.
Wow.
I mean, they getting younger and younger.
Snacks and popcorn will be served. Starts at 8 p.m. Ends at 10.
Yes.
And that's what's going on today. Over the weekend, there is the Beyonce and Rihanna dance party at the Auto Bar. So the Auto Bar is doing a lot of stuff.
Clearly.
And that's tomorrow, and it's $6 to get in, and it starts at 10. And the Junkyard Band will be at the Baltimore Soundstage, 124 Marketplace.
To my friend.
Starts at 7 p.m. and the tickets are $18. So those are some of the things that are going on Saturday. Sunday, Poets for Dinner, featuring Either Poet MC. It's a free event.
Oh, we like free.
6 p.m. to 9 p.m. City Arts, which is at 1700 Greenmount Avenue. That's City Arts 2. And it's free. Donations are encouraged. So if you do have something that's like church, bring what you can, donate what you can, but they're going to feed you. Everything is free hugs, free everything. And that is on Sunday. govern yourselves accordingly. And so, socialites, what's been going on with you this week?
Well,
Shit, not a damn thing.
for me, I've been ducking and dodging and diving cold germs because something is going around and I have been unsuccessful. So this presentation is brought to you by that effervescent cold and flu medicine. I can't say no names because they ain't sponsoring nothing over here.
But
you know what I'm talking. You said they may. Okay, this is brought to you by the orange flavored Alka-Seltzer. Okay, like I'm telling you, germs are real. But outside of that, like this week has been super awesome. Like I got to meet some interesting people at the Spark place that's down there at, what is that, Marketplace? Those people are awesome. That space is awesome. It's great. And
the sister is the director.
And a sister is the director. So if you've got a tiny office or you need office space, they will give you a desk for $15 and unlimited access to stuff, including the kitchen. But outside of that, I'm just going to say that today's Cocktail Social Hour is brought to you by mamas. Because if it wasn't for our mamas, we would not be here. The end.
You ain't never lied.
I ain't lying.
Never lied.
I'm glad my mama took the time out to have me. I mean, I could have been so many places at this
Yeah,
moment in
Bernita
time,
could have
but-
chose to swallow.
So many places in my life and time.
As you can see, we're down one socialite. He was
Yeah,
unable to be
miss
with
him.
us. Cable's with us in spirit. We'll see you
Yeah.
next week. Hopefully, if you're not out of town being a whore.
I hope he's
He's
listening.
a whore.
Do I smell holism?
I said,
Do I hear Dick Monger?
Miss Mizell,
Yes?
tell me something good.
Child. I don't need, I mean,
Well,
I'm chilling.
she ain't gonna tell you.
What?
But home sister over here is making African masks out of cardboard.
Hell yeah, and it's awesome.
Yes?
I mean, she had that thing looking like it had, beads, and I wanted to, she made it out of cardboard, but it looked really authentic. I was like, what kind of wood is that?
That was,
Recycled.
that was recycled.
There you go.
See, it used to be wood, but then they turned it into paper, so now it's,
This
still
chick
wood.
over here is like
She's
dumb
really
talented. Like when I say she gives Sagittarius is the best name because the gift is all in her hands. Holla at your girl for fruit decoration stuff. She made a cantaloupe look like a whole bird of paradise flower. She make rings and jewelries. You see that lovely piece on her neck? She made that there. She does lock maintenance.
She's good with her hands.
She makes outfits out of yarn. Like, if the apocalypse hits, I'm riding with her.
yes, thank you. I can build a hut and a raft if we need a raft.
And she's just funny as hell. So, holla at your girl.
Oh, y'all so special. Y'all make me feel so
They're
good.
still inviting people.
Right, me
look.
too.
It's
I done invited the
400
wrong people a couple times. I was
got-
like, damn, I shouldn't have invited them.
I don't
You
really
gotta
know how
do
to
it
do that. Can you
discreetly.
help me
You
how
just gotta
to do
just-
that?
Oh,
I
I
don't
gotta
really
be
know how to do
Yes,
that.
you can't just be, you gotta turn.
I don't do
I
nothing.
can't, you know my phone is
Oh,
on her head.
that's right.
I dropped it so many. Oh, look at that.
See that? Look
Look
at
at God.
Won't he will?
Won't he do it?
Well,
Thank you. Thank you so
There you
much.
go.
Hi, friends.
Get a little. Why are you in my head? Why are you in there? Mr. Gilmore, tell me something
Right.
good.
We ain't had no sips yet.
No sips. How dare you?
this past Wednesday, I performed for the first time for the So Far Baltimore Music Series.
Brr, 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 brr.
It's all over the place there.
How'd you feel about it?
I feel really good about it. We did all original songs, which is always good. And yeah, right now we're on a little break so everybody can rest, and then hopefully in September we'll be back up to our old stuff.
Yeah, we like it. We like it a lot.
I just can't wait to get on the road again. I'm gonna get on there with me and my best friends.
And we
Really?
Smitty. Smitty.
Smitty, you
Smitty, please.
You might have to cut her drink,
cut
Smitty.
all the way off, Smitty.
Drinking yet?
For all of the viewers, our bartender is Smitty.
Hey,
Give it up for
Smitty.
Hey, with the kids.
Don't talk about Smitty, please.
Sometimes we're thinking about
You know, shit. You know, with Lou Areola.
This just in.
Oh my gosh.
On Sunday, this is the vegan restaurant week. Vegan restaurant week.
Is that right?
Yes. Baltimore vegan restaurant.
That sounds delicious.
It is hosted by the Wicked Sisters and Maryland Vegan Eats. It's at Sunday at 10 a.m. until 11 p.m.
I like
and
it.
it's at Wicked Sisters, which is a restaurant. And I think they do all vegan.
Okay, so I'm gonna have to bring my meat with me.
Vegan pigfoot.
Yes, challenge. I like to see how that happens.
They are located at 3845.
I tell you my recipe with a secret out.
I don't want none of that. If it's
I'm telling you.
I don't want no porkless chitlins, and I don't want no porkless pig feet.
Yes.
That is a nasty motherfucker.
Well, you know, Ray Davis, he the owner of Flight, he does vegan. Doesn't he do like vegan ribs or something?
Vegan pigfoot.
I want him to do vegan. Hey Ray, do vegan pigfoot and let us see if it's any good.
Somebody that made it gonna have to know what a pigfoot tastes like.
Nope.
You gotta be a former meat eater to make my food.
I mean, a country ass.
All right, country pigfoot.
Another thing that's going on.
To change their name to Imani.
Oh,
I quit.
Bartholomew.
I quit you just now.
Gertie.
Gertie.
Marguerite.
Beatrice.
Marguerite.
Beatrice.
Damn, you naming all the old church members at my old church.
Also on Sunday is the drag brunch in the Harbor Room at the Horseshoe Casino. That is at 11 a.m. till 3 p.m.
Okay.
And the tickets are $35. That's 1525 Russell Street. So those are some things that are going on around Baltimore. If there are some things that you'd like to log onto my page and post, and I'll just send y'all a shout out and tell about the events that's going on. That's what's going on in Baltimore this weekend.
Hey.
And when we come back from these messages, we'll begin the cocktail social.
Yes.
Get your cocktail, tune right
Get
back
your
in.
drink ready.
All right?
I'm ready.
Cheers.
The Artist Exchange Radio Show every Friday 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. every Saturday 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. Real artist, real talk, real live on BeExposedRadio.com.
I was meeting with a friend yesterday, and I've gotten to the point where don't ask me a question because the truth is going to come out. And
exactly.
Just don't do it.
If you ain't looking for the truth, don't come to me.
Don't do it because I can't hold my tongue. And she wants to be this stylist, boutique, but you're not doing anything in that nature, and I can't take you seriously if you're not doing those things. And I understood why people didn't take me seriously because I found myself in somebody else's lane. I was good at what I was doing and what I wanted to be, but I wasn't doing it for me. So how can I ask you to take me seriously if I'm living in somebody else's shoes?
And nobody can do what you do, and I think that that's a big problem that people face now. Like, you see what somebody else is doing and you want to do that when that's not your lane.
That's not your lane.
That's not what you're supposed to be doing.
But it's popular, it's getting that person money, it's getting that person applause. Oh, I want applause. I want money. Let me stand over here behind them.
And then a lot of times people aren't honest with themselves either. Like, I was thinking earlier today, I've been woke for almost 2 days, so so you get honesty, yes. And I was thinking, like, you know,
the Artist Exchange Radio Show.
Whatever happened to the times when we cared for one another? We shared the same respect. What is happening? We're trading what's important for shiny things. I can't allow this blasphemy. It's blasphemy. Why would you treat yourself like that? We didn't come this far just to fall right back. Where I'm from, don't lose yourself, stay on track. Baby, you're a god, unspoken battles we won. You're so much better than that. Sometimes the truth ain't always catchy as rap. Stop chasing cheese or you'll get stuck in a trap. Go get your crown and never render it back. No, it's blasphemy. Why would you treat yourself like that? Stop all that blasphemy. We didn't come this far just to fall right back. Baby, you're a god. You're a god. You're a god. You're a god. Baby, you're a god. You're a god. Baby, you're a god. Believe that. You're way too gifted to stop and listen. It's condescending, not to mention all of our ignorance. Is there permission to? I know you like to turn up like that. With a drink to pull up like that. Well, baby, there ain't nothing wrong with that. Just make sure the God in you stays where it's at. You're the rising sun of a new day begun. Grind on till victory's won. I pray you do your thing till earth and heaven ring. Just don't forget where you come from.
Let me talk to him. Oh, you ain't know? You ain't heard it before? That spirit you take for granted is the God of your soul. It's a price that you owe. It can never be owned. So for this valued dollar, it can never be sold. We were kings and queens in the motherland. Problem is we shouldn't have spared the rod or the father's hand. Yo, where the fathers at? Kids raising kids. So basically they never really raised but more assisted. Thrown to the system for criminal definition instead of dreaming for better and taking care of your business. I promise. We've been gods from the crib. Thing is, you can call a king a slave if he don't know who he is. Man, it's blasphemy.
Why would you treat yourself like that? Stop all that blasphemy. We didn't come this far just to fall right back. Baby, you're a god. You're a god. You're a god. You're a god. Baby, you're a god. You're a god. Baby, you're a god. God, God, God. Baby, you're a god. Believe that.
Driving has a rhythm all its own. Don't wreck it with a text. Before you get behind the wheel, silence your phone. Or better yet, designate a texter. For more text-free driving tips, visit stoptextstoprex.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration.
Green light. Hey girl, school zone. I'm getting hungry. Car changing lanes. You want to meet me for pizza? Stop sign. Intersection clear. Yeah, street. Pizza sounds good. Ballin Street? Girlin Street!
It's hard to concentrate on two things at once, like texting and driving. Stop the text, stop the wrecks. How will you stop texting and driving? Tell us at stoptextstoprex.org. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
Welcome back to the Kocktail Social. I'm your host, Blue Waters, and this is Be Exposed Radio. And we are the Socialites.
See, we
Socialites,
are.
and this is Friday.
It's Friday!
And Smitty has made me a wonderful cocktail in this style.
Hey, Smitty.
Smitty looking all nice.
And Smitty got the titties.
You smell good.
You keep them coming, goddammit.
So, today's first cocktail question is one that made me, I was thinking, I had a conversation with Cable last week after the show, and he was talking about the conversation, the actual show, and he was like, well, what actually changed you and made you want to do the things that you do? What made you want to be the person that you are at this point? And so I'm like, I really never thought about it. So, the first question is, what was the catalyst that changed your life for the better or for the worst? And because there was something that happened that just broke in you and was like, you know what, this is going to shape who you are now. So what was that thing? What was that thing that made you who you are right now?
don't know.
Well, then that's a damn. Have another drink.
Okay.
Have another drink.
Well, I mean, after February 7th, I will never be the person that I was prior to that. And some people may look at it as a negative, some people may not care, but I feel like something about that day woke me up. Like, the things that I thought were important are no longer important to me anymore. There are relationships that I was kind of working really hard to cultivate that I've let go of. There are relationships that I kind of was letting lay to the side that I'm now cultivating. Like, I have decided to be more intentional about the relationships that I have. And I don't know, I just view family as my focal point now.
So would you say that it changed you for the better?
I'm going to say that it changed me for the better. Like, all that other stuff is no longer important to me. The people used to have a hold on me. Like, my goal was to make sure that other people were happy. And it's not that I don't care that other people are happy, but it's like, I realized that there are people who are here for me and who want the best for me. And then there are people who want from me and want the best from me, but for their own betterment, if that makes any sense. And learning to discern the two. So I would say that, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to say childbirth.
Jesus, you ain't never
Really?
lied.
Oh.
Before I had my daughter.
What happened before you had your
I don't
daughter?
know. I just think I think about how I handle situations. I handle situations a little differently because of her. Because otherwise, yeah, I probably would be. I don't know. I ain't gonna say I'll be in jail or nothing. I ain't that damn crazy, but it definitely slowed me down a little bit.
Okay. Okay.
I can dig it.
For the good.
For the good. So it changed you for the good.
Yeah.
Okay. On end.
I think I've had several.
I was gonna say I agree.
I can't say
There's
I
no
can't.
one moment that is true.
But it's
I
like
can
it's
pinpoint like the first major one,
okay.
and then there've just been several after that.
Okay.
The first major one was when my grandmother died, my mother's mother. I felt like that was like a turning point, and it wasn't for the better for me.
Okay.
I kind of had lost a friend. I lost someone who understood me. I lost somebody who saw me for who I was without me having to explain myself. And just was always happy to see me, always wanted me. And yeah, and everybody who's kind of died that I was super close to, just kind of left and didn't come back. And that was the first major life-changing event. And I mean, looking at it now, it probably did some things for the better because I was very much about just making a lot of other people happy.
Right.
I've kind of built my whole 20s around trying to make other people proud of me and not myself.
Right.
And yeah, I would say the next one came about 3 years ago, and that just flipped my ass upside down. And then February 7th. But there have been a few in between. I can't say there's just been one. I don't know what God is preparing me for. But I swear, whatever's on the other end, I'm going to be ready for.
Especially since you stopped stripping. Since you stopped.
Well, damn.
I think you'd
that was the first moment. That was the hardest thing to do.
It's coming off that pole. You don't dance no more. You make money.
I make money move.
Yeah.
You know she stole that from me.
Is that what happened?
I knew she did.
I ain't never got off a pole. I mean.
Wow.
But we'll be doing a return show tomorrow night.
Go ahead.
Uh-oh.
Go ahead.
What's your stage name? Teddy Ruxpin.
I love it.
Mine is Jigglypuff.
Then they go to sleep and then that's when you get them.
Gotta catch them all.
I come out just like Winnie the Pooh.
Yes. Got my polka dot on.
Just a little red shit.
Little bit. Yes.
Little snuggly little stuff with fluff.
Oh, Lord.
If you're tuning in, this is the Cocktail Social. This is Be Exposed Radio. Tune back in after these messages.
Yes, indeed. Jigglypuff. Oh.
Join the Just a Bit Outside crew every Monday, 8 to 10 p.m. on BeExposedRadio.com.
You want to start off?
I think I'll get it out of the way on a who's not.
Okay, do it.
The Orioles.
Right.
They got swept by the Royals. They lost 4 in a row, and the last 5 games have all been decided by 1 run.
Mm-hmm.
The game before, or the last game that they lost before the Royals was the Nationals, and it was Weeders, of course, won with a home run.
Hit the home run.
Right.
They were going into that National series. It seemed like they were doing so well, and they just crapped out. They got that game postponed, so who knows when they're going to replay that or play that game.
Mm-hmm.
That's my first not for the night.
Okay. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and weigh in on my who's not, and I'm going to talk about the San Diego Padres.
The Padres. That's okay. You just took my answer.
They're in last place in the NL West. They've lost 8 of their last 10. Their run differential is a negative 65, which is just horrible. So when you have let me just talk about run differential a little bit. It's kind of like the
how much you're winning or losing your games by, pretty much.
Yeah. Okay. It's like the margin of victory, kind of.
Right.
So when you're in a negative number, that means that you're.
Then your average game you're losing
by a whole lot.
Right.
I mean, a number like negative 65, this early in the season is pretty rough.
That's horrible.
Then the pitching numbers pretty much support this stat right here. I mean, the team ERA is 4.70, which is 26th in the league. They have 126 walks allowed. They acquired Jared Weaver in the offseason, and he really has not panned out. He's off to one of the worst starts in any of the pitchers in 2017.
Mm-hmm.
He's 0-4 with a 6.05 ERA. In May alone, he already has 12 earned runs in May. And, another one of their pitchers, Clayton Richard, he's 2-4 with a 4.34 ERA. And, in May, he has 6 earned runs and 12 innings pitched. So they're not pitching well. And on top of that, they are also not batting well.
Right. But it kind of sucks because Manuel Margot is doing pretty good. His the past few at bats, his last.
Join the Just a Bit Outside crew every Monday, 8 to 10 p.m. on BeExposedRadio.com.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
Welcome back to the Cocktail Social. And this is Be Exposed Radio. Every time y'all catch me. Before we cut the break, the cocktail question was, what was the catalyst that changed your life for the better or for the worst?
All right, so
And we left off with Mr. Gilmore, who stated that he that there were several catalysts that changed his life. And I think you were saying that some of them was for the
some
better.
Some for the worse and some of them for the better. And overall now, you look back and you're like, oh, okay, I see why that shit had to happen like that.
It did have to happen.
Yeah.
I think for me, the first event I can recall was when I lost my younger sister.
Mm-hmm.
And that, for me, I didn't have an understanding about life.
Mm-hmm.
I was just figuring that out. And I realized how fragile it was. I also realized at that moment that, when people are dealing with when they're grieving, they're looking for something or someone to blame, and they'll tear at each other.
Yeah.
Without realizing that the individuals involved didn't have anything to do with it. And so I saw my mom tear my father, and my father tear my mother, and then they were going back and forth for so many years because they wanted to blame one another for something they had no control over.
Yeah.
And you know, and so that was the first catalyst that kind of opened my eyes to some things. The second one was being homeless.
Yeah.
And I realized how arrogant I was, and how much I took for granted.
Yeah.
I was and it was during the time. It was crazy because I was coming. I was trying to figure out my sexuality. And, you know, it's hard being gay and being raised in the black community because you're not supported. Everyone wants to tear you down. Everyone wants to call you a sissy, a faggy, and tell you how much you're going to die of AIDS. So that's what I was raised with. And yeah, because that was the thing. You know, AIDS was just coming in. Coming out,
Yeah, they did try to say it was
and everybody, it was the gay disease.
Yeah.
And so I was afraid, and that was my biggest fear was I want to die of AIDS because I have this secret that I don't want to tell anybody, and it was the hardest thing for me to do, and I had so much anger built up because I didn't have anyone to express myself to.
Yeah.
And the males and like. The men were men, so that was we ain't talking about no faggot ass shit, and and that's what I was raised on, sissy ass shit, none of that poke ass stuff. And here it is, I'm thinking about guys and wanting to be pregnant, and yeah, that was a dream. That was a fantasy. Like I want to get pregnant, but
good luck.
What's gonna come out of it?
My boo John.
Hold on.
Oh my God, it's a pivot.
Hold on.
It's a nugget chip.
I quit y'all so hard.
Baby look like shit.
Baby look like Mr. Hanky and everyone's like,
He just smeared it all over the place.
I quit.
Oh my gosh.
It'll be a glittery
Every time you kiss him, come up with a dirty saying.
No more drinks.
Oh no.
But anyway, so that was something that I had to go through, and it wasn't because of anybody but myself. And I felt that at that point I had to realize the things that I had in my life, the people that I had in my life, and those things that I was blessed with. And so it kind of changed the trajectory of my life to something that was better, and I needed it.
Mine, I think, was more on the fact, come on now. Mine was more on the fact of who I had to get rid of, even if they were family.
Yeah.
To create my own family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
and
did.
I found out I had to create my own family.
I did.
Yeah.
And it was crazy.
Yeah.
That's how I met some of the most important people in my life, was coming out of that situation. And, I met one of my best friends over 20 years. Shella's, hey Beastie.
Hey.
She met me after that, during that time frame, and we became so close. What in the hell is going on?
Right, she felt like talking. Obviously,
she said, "Can I help you?"
What did you say?
I don't know what he said.
This conversation got so deep. She said, "Y'all niggas need help."
Right.
So that was, and I met some of the most important people, and I've carried them with me. And it's almost like those are my gems. I've collected so many wonderful people. I've collected y'all, and it's crazy,
I'm happy to be collected.
And it's like, I know. Stop it, Mama. You stop that gay ass shit. But that was something that changed me for the better.
Okay.
And I think in 2018, when I lost my mom, my biggest fear was coming face to face with cancer. I didn't have a relationship with my father because he was taken away from me with cancer, the same cancer that my mom died of.
Wow.
My father and I had a really wonderful relationship, but I wanted him to see who I am now.
Yeah.
So I wish that he could have lived long enough to actually meet his adult
That's
son.
my biggest issue with my grandmother. I would have loved it for her
to
see this person. I would have loved to just take care of her.
Right. Yeah, and just to have heart-to-heart conversations with him. But I had that relationship with my mother, and the thing is that I didn't, me and my mom was really close. We had a really odd relationship because we were so much alike. So we were like two bulls locked in horns at times. But we had this we could talk to each other about anything. We were so honest with one another. And so when she transcended, and you know, that something in me broke, and it was a new person. It was almost like a phoenix, the phoenix dying, and the rebirth of the phoenix from those ashes. And so that's where I'm at right now.
The happiest thing in the world is that we were there.
You were. And you know what? The day that she passed, it was crazy because the day that she passed, you had your Aretha show.
Yeah, we got sick. Both of us got sick.
And we
nothing.
And it was funny because I was in the midst of making arrangements. They had just picked my mom up from my place, and you know, everything was just kind of like I was struggling to go through it, but I needed that.
I so didn't expect to see him when you walked through.
Yeah.
We were so happy. We were just like, let's get him. Let's do it.
And I needed it. I needed that, but it felt therapeutic. It was needed at that moment, and that was a part of my grieving process. And the funny thing is that I grieved throughout the year because my mom was slowly, you know, I had to take care of her from February up until that point. And so the whole year I was processing what life would be like without her and how I would deal with it. And I see now that she was preparing me for this moment.
Wow.
And I feel like if without her preparing me for it, I don't think I would have been able to handle it the way that I did. But she made me strong. She made me and my sister very strong. She made us very independent, like to the point where we were able to, we could function on our own, and that's what she really wanted us to do.
Yeah.
And so we miss her, but I feel empowered. You know, I feel like she gave me something. And it was in that moment, and so that was a catalyst that was like, go out here and do the things that you aspire to do, live the life that you wanted to live, be the person that you wanted to be, and dare to dream and make those dreams come true. And that's what in that moment I got from that.
That's
so
what's up.
that was it. I feel so good. Smitty!
Right.
We need more drinks, Smitty. This shit done got real up here.
All the
Smitty run out on his damn job.
Smitty need to get on his damn
He in the toilet. That's
funny. For my socialites that are on the other side of the camera, what is a catalyst that changed your life for the better or for the worse?
To us,
talk
guys.
back to us. Let us know what is it. What was it that changed you, and how did it change you? And what words would you have for someone that was going through whatever it was that you were going through that changed you? And on to the next question. The cocktail question 2 is, where would you like to be in 5 years?
Alive.
Oh shit.
That and
amen.
That and
I want to live beyond 5 years.
I'm saying, well, let's just start with that. I want to be
I want to be alive.
I want to be alive.
In my right mind and full activity.
Talk,
yes, only.
You know?
Amen.
You know what? We take that for granted.
Yes, we do. Because there's people dying today ain't never died before.
We could have a stroke and be completely done. I'm with you. I'm with you. Come on now.
I said there's people dying today ain't never died before.
Never died before.
Listen.
That's a true
That outside of being alive in my right mind and having activity of all my limbs.
That is true.
Bless the Lord. I want to be on somebody's bestsellers list for the book that I'm writing.
You writing a book?
I am writing a book.
Really?
Yes.
Okay, what is it, fiction?
It is a work of fiction. I'm going to call it a work of fan fiction, but I'm not going to say what. Y'all keep me lifted in prayer for my dedication and my discipline, because right now I only have 9 pages, and I've been working on it for a very long time. Because I won't sit still.
J.K. Rowling took how long to write that Harry Potter, and here she is.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm trying to dedicate my days.
Right.
I've set aside one day to write.
Read about Toni Morrison, how old she was and what she went through before she got her first book finished and released.
Thank you, I needed
And it's like giving birth.
It
It's like giving birth with the perfect child.
I find that every time I go to write, I'll scroll up to look at what I've already written, and I'm making changes and adjustments and all like that. And so I'm trying to take the pressure off myself, not to give myself certain deadlines, because that only frustrates me and stifles what I see in my mind and the thought process. Like, I want to take my time, develop the characters, and set a scene for you to actually get enveloped in the book. People who I've let read a preview of it are like, oh my God, this is so good, what's going to happen next? So I want to keep that momentum going with the way that I'm writing. So that's where I want to be, on somebody's bestsellers list.
All right.
Yeah,
I like that.
I just want to be doing what I love to do.
Which is?
Making stuff. Just art. Just doing any type of.
Oh, because I'm about to say babies?
No,
making
no
more babies?
Ain't no goddamn babies.
I mean, you like making things.
Hell no. Anything but babies.
On that note, hop hop. Yes.
I had a dream about fish.
It wasn't me. It wasn't me. Hell no.
It was trout.
Barracudas.
Right.
Fucking piranhas. You might be dreaming about your own fish and shit.
Baby frogs. No tadpoles.
Oh, piranha baby.
Y'all laugh like Will and Betty.
Right. That's funny.
Wilma and Betty.
I'm Wilma.
Y'all still doing it.
So, what's the cat?
Oh, I didn't know you was done.
Oh,
I was done.
I forgot what the hell I was talking about now.
5 years later.
5 years later.
I just wanna be able to be financially stable and free to do the things that I love to do, whether it's singing or making jewelry or making body products or just doing artwork, painting, making clothes, decorating, whatever.
She does all of that.
So I just want to be able to do that and make money to survive off of, not just survive but thrive. And I'll be happy with that.
Shout out to Naughty Threads. Check out the IG page.
So have you started planning towards any of these things? Strategizing?
Well, there's some other things going on with me right now, so it's like my timing is a little, not I'm not quite as organized as I probably could be. I'm going through some issues, not necessarily health, like I'm dying or nothing like that, but I was injured last year, and so I'm still trying to adjust to not working full-time anymore, because I was working full-time, and then as of a couple months ago.
They hiring on Baltimore Street.
Always
got a job open.
Always.
Rolling admission.
My jelly rolls and that.
Baby, if you seen what I seen.
My grip ain't that good,
You ain't got a grip.
Can you lay down?
You ain't got a grip that much.
If you can serve drinks in your
you
panties
bend
and
over?
some fishnets. Okay, well then
You got a problem with alley love?
Alley love? What the devil?
If a rat run across your leg, you can't jump. You just got to keep going.
Oh, Smitty.
Oh, God, no.
Oh,
Smitty.
You cut his drinks off, too.
Smitty.
Throwing it in the trash.
You smell like sour laundry.
I can't stand.
Everybody sitting there, y'all smell yak me?
Something smell like milk and turds. It's a curd. Somebody milked and curd.
Smell like custard.
Oh, my Lord.
Mr. Gilmore.
In 5 years, I think mine is really like obvious. No, but in 5 years, I hope to be 5 years into living free.
I'm a star.
Like, I mean, living fully, unabashedly free.
Well, come through here, Freedom.
I hope by that point I have the balls to do it.
Freedom.
I hope that I will be on the Grammys for like the 3rd time.
Come through here,
all
Dreams.
of us have been to Europe, Africa, and back several times.
I'm drugged. Please
listen,
make sure my ass is drugged.
I just want somebody pick me. Pick me.
Go.
Pick me.
Go.
I'm going on record as having said there has not been a time where Jonathan has spoken something out of his mouth and it has not come to pass, whether it's over my life or his own life.
Can you speak the Mega Millions into my future, please?
So we didn't already seen one of those dreams come to life in us being on stage in New York. That's number one. I was riding shotgun. Well, I was driving in the Green Cavalier when he spoke that one. So he just spoke that one in front of all of us, in front of all of y'all. Watch and see what happened. And I come against every demon that speak anything other than. Amen.
All right. Well,
done.
All right.
And that is a word before the break. This is the Cocktail Social. This is Be Exposed Radio. I'm your host, Blue Waters, and these are my socialites. Join us after these messages. Get your cocktail.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
This unknown to find who we really are. Crash into something new. Take a break from our broken heart. Talk with the hip, tell me you lie. I think we should go for another round. Baby, try not to say too much. Let your love come down. If you wanna rule, it's some rules you gotta live by. Live by. Stay true to your cool, make a move. Don't wait on nobody else. And if it feels like a melody, sing a song, be my radio. And if you follow me there, I'll follow you back. Let the night unfold. I can tell that she can't get enough. Show no, she couldn't keep the feels off from me. Oh no, she couldn't keep the feels off from me. Got your hands till we dance in the dark. Show no, she couldn't keep the feels off from me. We do whatever you like. Keep the feels off from me. Oh no, she couldn't keep the feels off from me. Let's slide, you and me alone, to find who we really are. Crash into something new. I got the leg bringing up the car. You told me you kiss, told me you lie. I think we should go for another round. Baby, I wanna take you, but we gotta groove so we can lose the crowd. If you wanna rule, there's some rules you gotta live by. Live by. Stay true to your cool, make a move. Don't wait on nobody else.
You use Tearless Baby Shampoo because it's gentle on your baby's eyes. You make sure his toys don't have any sharp edges. You always test the bathwater to make sure it's not too hot. You taught her what to do when the smoke alarm goes off. You make sure she wears a helmet when she rides her bicycle. You put on his sunscreen, even when he's embarrassed his friends will see. You do so much to keep your child safe. But are you using the right car seat for your child? Is your child facing the right way in the car seat? Is the seat too big or too small? How do you know when it's time to move your child into the next type of seat? Car crashes are a leading killer of children ages 1 to 13. Protect your child's future at every stage of life. For information on the right seat for your child, visit safercar.gov/the-right-seat. That's safercar.gov/the-right-seat.
A message from the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Why is Connor having trouble focusing in school?
Having trouble finding Connor's middle school? Would you like directions?
No, why is Connor having trouble focusing in school?
Finding lowest airfare to Istanbul.
No, I'm tired of fighting with him over homework.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
Listen, I'm gonna call you and I'm gonna find out whether or not you want us to shout you out on the show. So
She sucked the pus out the bowl on her.
no, sir. No, that's a negative.
We're on the air.
No.
We're live.
We are on the air. We're on the air.
And thank you for tuning in to the Cocktail Social. And the host is currently busy right now, but if you would leave a message, we'll get back to you.
Welcome back to the Cocktail Social. I'm
Yes.
Blue Waters. And these are the socialites. And they are definitely having their fill of cocktail.
Thanks, Smitty.
Smitty, you are wonderful.
You be getting cock and tail, and then you're gonna tell us that we full of cocktail.
Well,
I'm sorry.
I wasn't ready.
Sorry, it's just a second.
God
I've been going through
I've been getting cock and tail.
Cock and tail.
Lucky you, Blue.
This is true.
That's the son of a bitch.
This is so true. I cannot deny you're not lying. You are not a lie.
You must be a prophet because you speak the truth.
So the question before the break.
I'm sorry.
Where would you like to be 5 years from now? I'ma say I definitely want to be alive. So that was a
Yeah.
Bunny ranch.
button.
I'm dead. I can't.
What do you want to be? You want to be a bunny?
Jump around in an Easter bunny suit.
Oh,
I'm thinking literally though. I'm like, her ass really wants to be a fucking bunny.
She get like a little bunny.
Right.
Bunny rat.
See, I'm
dead. I can't.
They gonna have you.
Come in.
Hold your hands up.
All right, Blue. Go ahead and talk. Talk quick.
Ooh, go ahead. He got it. He got it.
You better talk quick. No. Go ahead.
1, 2, 3, go.
I
smell my deodorant.
Oh, shit.
You
smell savory.
This is
not the show for that.
Excuse
Get yourself together. You got shit.
Excuse us for a moment.
Calm yourself.
I'm a little big. I don't know if I can get under the table.
Calm yourself.
Wait a minute. I quit.
Get yourselves together.
Bring it in.
Okay.
Bring it all the way.
I'm sorry.
I apologize.
In 5 years,
in 5 years,
Blue will be carrying our baby.
Oh.
In unison.
Right.
Everybody's baby.
Look at mutt.
Crying old mutt. Baby.
Everybody got kids, got legs, and
First of all,
it's gonna come out shoulder shaking.
Boom shakalaka, boom shakalaka. I wasn't ready. No pineapples. All of the code words.
Oh God!
I'm safe wording right now.
Smitty, no more drinks.
Oh,
5 years.
Smitty, we all cut off.
Excuse me, bartender. I want to know.
No.
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 Smitty, she cut off.
No.
No.
You get you. So, in 5 years, I want to have purchased my first house.
Come on, home ownership.
Yeah, Lord.
And I want to be working on. I want to have saved up at least $150,000
For what, huh?
for a mud.
Damn.
I'm a touch and agree. Ooh, done.
I don't want no damn mud. I don't want no mud hood.
You can look really official with it.
No, I don't want it.
What are you in there doing? Birthing a 5-man baby.
We got high flies to fly around his mouth and shit.
Nope. You ain't going down his mouth. Nope. Come in. Shush. Don't. Nope.
You going straight.
Right. Go ahead. Your 5-year plan, Blue. Karen, drink your juice. Go ahead. Shush. The power of Christ compels you. The power of Christ compels you.
My God.
The power of Christ compels you.
Voices make me do it.
She's the
voices.
Hey, no goddamn voices. This is smack. That's the crack you did before you got here.
Crack. Crack is whack.
Crack
is cheap.
Fentanyl.
Are we even on any
I
topic
don't know
at this
what's
point?
happening right now.
Oh my God. Ahead of time. Sometimes on the cocktail social.
The views expressed on the cocktail social are not those of Be Exposed.
This is why you do not do. This is why we say no to drugs.
I don't do drugs. I do stimulants.
Like a bunch of damn hyenas in here.
So, for you, where do you want to see yourselves in 5 years? Clearly, I'm not going nowhere in 5 years.
They want to see themselves hanging with us.
No, you're going to be a homeowner, and you're going to have $150,000 in the bank.
I'm going to have my first down payment on my left titty because I want to have that sex change. I believe
Just your left titty?
Just first down payment.
An amateur.
Nope. I'm going to have my... You're going to look like Picasso, like half his face done, everything.
I'm saying we can go together. I can get the fat sucked out my stomach, and it can go right there. Right there.
Well, look, if you take the fat for people, I got some shit for you.
Take this jelly roll right here.
Fuck that. Take my titties. Goddamn.
You got a whole bunch of donuts sitting at the table.
His ass need to take fat off of me. He gonna end up with an N-size titty. He gonna wear a triple N.
Smitty!
Smitty! No more drinks. No more drinks, Smitty.
Go ahead, them titties where you got to sit like this.
As you can see,
ooh, I'm tired. I'm tired.
Cocktail Social is in full effect. We are live.
I'm tired.
This is Friday.
It is Friday.
And we'd like you to get your cocktail and join us after these messages.
Please do.
This is Be Exposed Radio.
We're here every week.
Take a minute and listen to this flashback of the Black by Demand radio show.
Control. They said she wouldn't so they didn't know if she had a weapon. So it's just a mess. So yeah, you do have to have these discussions with your children.
You do, and you have to make them aware of that there is an enemy out there. Every time the police pull you over, or every time you have an interaction with the police as a black person, you are at risk of being in front of your enemy. Hopefully, it's not a police officer that wants to demonstrate that he's your enemy, but we all see it's a high probability of that being the case. So if we're not talking to our children do not have the coping mechanisms to deal with these type of intense situations. What they're going to do is what most of us do as black people, me and anyone else, which is become emotional. And that is the trigger point for the police. They know that black people are emotional people. So when they arrive on the scene, they are purposely trying to say and do things to you to get your emotions up, right? And then once they get your emotions up, then it's like, oh, that's what we needed. Now we're going to kick your ass. You know what I'm saying? Gotcha. You know, so I'm saying we need to have these discussions with our children, you know, and make them understand in this day and age, and it's every day and age really, but we'll just say this day and age for the sake of it being so prevalent on social media, like you have to understand what you're getting yourself into. And I think a lot of us as black people are just scared to still tell our children that there are a group of people out here that are your enemies.
Join us every Monday at 12 noon for Black by Demand radio show, only on BeExposedRadio.com.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
The Cocktail Social. I'm your host.
That sound nasty.
I'm your host, Blue Waters, and these are the socialites. And before we cut the break, we were talking about where we'd like to be in 5 years. Where we'd like to be in 5 years. And then we went into a giggle fest, and I think he went, Smitty, what did you put in this?
Smitty slipped us a Cosby special. That's what he did.
That part.
He's not back there.
His ass in the toilet again.
I think he went to the bathroom.
Bar's over here. He
But
should be behind the
he's
bar.
serving us
He's a
from-
bartender.
No, he's not. He's over. What's wrong?
You're not acting right. The bar is back here.
Yeah, but he's up there.
Well, I want the bartender bar because he got more bottles. Hey, can I get another drink, please?
You talking
Please, and
to?
then
She's
the
cut off.
damn bartender!
He's not back there.
He is!
So anyway, moving right along. It's okay. It's all right.
Yeah, when I seen you that day, I know that is a goal.
No, we're not smoking, Maxine. We are not
Shit, I wish
smoking.
we was smoking.
And she wishes she was smoking. She has been smoking.
No, shit. Ain't no his ass been fucking smoking.
No.
We was snorting shit. We got money to snort cocaine.
Right.
We got good money. We rich. That's in 5 years.
5 years.
I want to be able to
Afford the shit.
So, the next cocktail question, our third cocktail question, because Smitty and her served us another drink.
Okay.
Is what type of relationship do you have or did you have with your parents?
Oh, I had a great relationship with my parents. I still have a great relationship with my parents.
Yeah.
They still together. And they just celebrated their 40.
Oh my sorry skies.
Wedding anniversary.
All right.
Congrats, mom and dad.
Yeah, my parents will be celebrating that. How old am I?
And they
35.
So, yeah, right. The 36. When I was pregnant. with-
Go ahead.
She was pregnant
Like
at
34 years and shit.
No.
Like, hold up. We'll move on to
No, it'll be
5.
30.
Your ass was
They'll
already
have
born.
36
So you're a
years
bastard.
on Christmas
Wow.
Eve.
Go
That's
ahead.
what I want to do. I want to be in a relationship where I have like 40 years.
Yeah.
I want to be strung out in love, though. I don't want
That
that.
part.
I don't want that shit when you still together and you be like, this motherfucker, right?
But you know what?
I will
I'm
say, like, my parents are really actually be fucking disgusting about this shit. Karen, you can attest to it. They are like
They go together real hard.
real hard.
Real
But
hard.
you know what? The funny thing is that those Warren people, those families that where they just cuss each other out, but they love each other hard. Where you know, like, you know what the fuck I said. You know what?
They all
And then
love.
one of them died, and the other one died the next year because they can't live without
Shit,
it.
a month later, the mother, I can't do it.
can't
I miss that bitch in it.
Yes.
Take me instead.
Right.
I want that type of relationship. I do think I had a really good relationship with both of my parents.
Yeah.
I mean, growing up, but I was unique growing up. So I don't think any parent is prepared for a gay child.
Right.
So I don't think that they
I
don't
think
know.
parents are prepared for children.
That's the truth.
You know, and that's
the long
crazy
I
thing.
look at it, gay, straight, crippled, crazy,
They're
they
not-
just not prepared for children.
They're not prepared for children.
Children
But they have an
are
idea
hard.
of the child that they had. So they have this idea of like, you know, this child is going to be a doctor, a lawyer, who's going to give me
But
5
you know what I hate?
grandkids.
Now-
And when that doesn't happen, it's
But
like,
now I'm not a parent. I feel like one. I have a child.
Well, you do have one. You gonna have a girl. I see it
Oh,
all
I
in your
can't wait to
face.
have a girl.
Zora, welcome to the world, darling.
I can't wait to have a
rocking
girl.
shit.
You have no
Who
idea.
you talk? You don't even understand. Auntie
But,
was on the case.
But what I hate is when parents have blinders on and they can't see. Because I'm not gonna name names, but I have a family member who my cousin was gay when he was gay 2 lifetimes ago. Like
I'm asleep.
we just we all knew it, and it
No
was
sound.
like no sound at all.
log out and log back in, you'll probably be able to hear the sound.
Yeah, refresh.
Refresh it.
Yeah, log out,
Just
log
refresh.
back in, Lynn. You know, I'll call you Lynn, but you know who the hell I'm
Maxine,
calling.
that's right. Great friends do become family because you my family.
You get to choose.
And I have a lot of family. These are my family here, so this is true. Great friends do become family, and then there are those friends that you want to be more than friends.
Well, yeah, but then you got them friends that know all your damn secrets. And
Then they become family.
You gotta keep them close.
Yeah, well,
And they know all your secrets. You gotta keep them real guys close.
I got money.
Me and my
out
best
on
friend
that.
been
Karen
friends
know
for
too much
30
about me.
Over 30-something years, and
Nobody
goddamn
knows
it,
that
we
I
gotta
know
stay
too much.
friends because we know too much of each other's secrets, and we can just ruin each other's lives with it.
Yeah.
Well, don't run for office.
I feel like
not since the tape came out. I damn sure can't run for office.
oh shit,
Yeah, well, you know.
that was you.
That was me.
Oh.
How did you do that with
How
that
did
bottle?
you swallow all that?
See, y'all did my y'all done mistook me for a nabbit. You know what I'm saying? That was not me. I'm clean. See what
I remember those locks. That was you. and your butt was tooted up, and that was about it.
No, you the one that took two up, one up the ass and one up the coop.
Wait a minute.
You had to shoot your
And-
ass up. I saw the hers.
And your
I saw the
hair was
hers
dyed.
on it. It was
Your
hers
ha-
on
Your
it.
hair was dyed on the end.
Pause. Pause.
You didn't stick me for nothing.
Pause.
Hey, friend, how are you?
Hey.
He got it.
So, my relationship with my mom.
There we go.
Very open, like open to the point where. You know how you say you can talk to your mom about anything? Like, I would
I
talk
thought
to
she
my
meant
mother
open like
about
they switch
anything.
keys at the party and
Like,
shit.
sometimes I would go to her and say stuff to her just to get a reaction out of her. And she would hit me with the, oh, okay, well, just be safe. You know, she wouldn't give me the rise I was looking for, but, like, even today, I can go to my mom and tell her anything. And I know that it's going to be okay. And the advice that she gives me is not going to be out of mom. It's going to be out of life experience. What just happened? Did you just have a seizure?
Going on over here.
Okay. I don't know what's happening.
But anyway, no, but your mom, I feel like I could tell your mom anything, and it would
She's
be
that one that you can.
Yeah,
yo,
your mom
your
is-
secrets will be buried with that chick. Real
There you
life.
go. And my mom was like my road dog. So
Yeah.
she would do things. She was my road dog. And I think we got closer when I finally came out. And the funny thing is coming out.
She already knew.
She did. She knew when I was 15. But she waited until I was 21. And I did it in such a dramatic fucking way.
Really?
So I did
You had a reveal party in that bitch.
What the? Yeah.
Pull out a rainbow.
It's a gay.
Not it's a gay.
It's a gay.
I'm calm. You make me feel.
No. So I waited until New Year's Eve.
Oh yeah, you did do it in style.
I
You would've
did.
had fireworks and shit.
I did. I waited New Year's Eve and I called my mother up and I was like, "Mom, I had something to tell you." And then I did this long ass speech. And I was like, "I knew that shit when you were 15." And I was like, "Well, why didn't you tell me?" She was like, "I was waiting for you."
You knew that shit when you were on spandex to school.
Let me tell you, it's a story about me wearing
I know.
She was the one who got. She was. Well, So the story is, for those that don't know, I was supposed to go in 5th grade.
In 5th grade, you had spandex on?
In 5th grade.
Because spandex was hot when we was in 5th grade.
Listen, in 5th grade,
Like a
don't know.
Ask
Asked me, what do you want for gym? Because you had to
Your ass went like Jane Fonda.
And so I went out there.
He had a thong.
Motherfucker look like Suzanne Summer with the
So and so my mom was letting me pick out my gym outfit. And I picked out a red and black French tour spandex outfit.
What the hell is that?
It was black and
with the fluorescent stripe down the side.
Going down the side of it. It was like French tour, and I got these Reeboks. And I had red and black slouch socks.
Yes.
And the first day I wore them to.
Looking like Richard Simmons in that.
One, you can do it, and two.
No, it was rope climb day, and I came out of the locker room with my spandex on, and the gym teacher held up the board like this. Lorenzo Cooper. I was like, I'm here.
He said here.
And they was like, oh Lord. All the girls was like, oh my God.
I can see his print.
They said that at Wonderland.
Vito.
He's hoarding boiled eggs.
I quit you.
And I was
Man, that should be the question.
I sashayed.
Did you sashay, honey?
First of all, I couldn't climb the rope. But let me tell you, I gave it a good attempt.
Okay.
I did.
He did it upside down.
I was on the rope. I was like,
why like all I hear is him swinging on the rope with Diana Ross. I want my soul.
I quit y'all.
So that was I believe she knew then, but
Damn right she knew. What kind of color top did you have on?
It was a full set. It was like a broad
A unitard.
What in the world? It was a full shirt, but a spandex. So when you wash it,
He this looking like he in the WWE and shit. He right. He look like a wrestler.
Gorgeous ladies the wrestler. What color was it? It was red and black. Oh. It was red and black, and I love that spandex outfit.
You got that shit framed and hanging in the living room.
If I have another, and let me tell you, I can still fit that one.
You know damn well. Big ass child. You was a big ass fifth grader.
I quit so hard.
Like a 6'3" in the fifth grade.
Oh, Tula says she think I see Tula. We had the same idea. Exactly. So I will say that we've had some funny moments in my family and with my mom. So, and please, if you had some interesting stories you'd like to tell us about your interactions with your parents, by all means share them with us at the Cocktail Social. Smitty, another round of drinks.
Please, thanks.
I ain't fucking with Smitty.
Shit, that's my leg, goddamn.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I didn't.
Wait a minute, you about to get the other leg.
Okay, we about to get
weighing down.
So now we're about to go dog. We're about to go dog. Put it back. Put it in your pants.
Oh, have mercy. Have mercy.
Oh, she playing. Oh my God.
What's happening here?
So we're about to go.
Go ahead.
Woosah. All right. The next cocktail question. It's going to be a doozy.
Are we ready?
I don't think you're ready for this one.
What is it?
Why did your last relationship end?
Because he was an asshole.
God damn. The next cocktail question is a doozy. Why did your last relationship end?
Should I wait till after the commercial? I'm just saying.
I'm about to say, that may be a door closer.
Tell me about it, Miss Kay.
Hold on, that may be a door closer.
I'm trying to close it. So Jonathan can attest to this. I was dating this guy who was a fraud, and I was working on my, what is that? Okay, well, I was working on my job, and I got a promotion. I was with this dude for like 7 years, and so I got this letter telling me that I got this promotion and the amount of money. I'm playing wifey because he's dangling a ring, but I ain't never produced. Child, that's a whole nother story. Anyway, I showed him the letter. You know what he said to me?
What?
With your income, we can. He spoke French.
We know we.
All I know
with
is
no ring. So then I was out with Jonathan, right? This is so crazy, and you know I'm getting to get deep because God speaks, and He'll only speak twice before He moves. Jonathan said to me, "You have a choice to make for yourself, and when you make the choice, you can't go back." Then a girlfriend who I hadn't heard from in years called me. I'm like, "I need to see you. I need to talk to you." We sat on my mother's porch, and the story that she relayed to me sounded like the life that I was currently living and headed towards. And I made a good decision to the point where he pissed me off so bad, I sent this nigga a whole email. Why an email, you ask? Because the last time I broke up with him, he was like, "You could have saved your gas," and told me that in text message. Watch what you say to me. I'm a Sagittarius. I listen and I act. So I sent him a text message. This is what we was going to do for your birthday. Here go the tickets to the comedy show. Take whoever you want. I'm done. The end.
Well, that was a doozy.
Fuck your couch.
Fuck your whole couch.
Fuck your couch.
And with that said, get your cocktail and join us after these messages. This is the Cocktail Social. This is Be Exposed Radio, and we are Socialites. I'm your host, Blue Waters. Talk to you later.
Like the one thing you always gotta remember is people gonna try to project their insecurities onto you. But you can't listen to what them niggas saying. You gotta get out here and do your shit regardless. You gonna do what you love for the rest of your life anyway. So why not turn that shit into something? Be a man of everything you say. This shit bigger than me, man. Like yeah, I'm all that, but you know what I mean? I ain't shit without y'all. So no matter what you up, you gotta go hard. Don't matter. Can you imagine how I really having nothing is? Stomach growling, you ain't got no food in the fridge. Surviving on a jail diet of water and bread. No father figure, that's cause my father dead. Mom's bringing different niggas in and out the crib. No money, so you seen it's less than all your friends. But it a joke because your mother was a crackhead. Older sister hoeing off, giving all the homies head. I could wait for your response, but they let her hear me talk, so I'll just wait for the applause. I always knew that I was great, I got them haters so appalled. I'ma make it out the darkness, and my word is my bond. Delivering these bars while I'm gripping on my balls. Jealous niggas hate to see you succeed, so fuck them all. I'm the master of my destiny, nigga, you not in charge. You either on your grind or in the way, so get lost. Be a man of everything you say you stand for. Lead your people by example, being hands-on. If you're back against the wall, to get your mash on. Fix your vision on the future like it's fast forward. The world is yours in due time, ain't gotta ask for it. I'm from the school of hard knocks, I took a crash course. Shit be stressful, my nigga, that's why I'm getting high. But that's life, and it's the code that I live by. And you know how it is, where we at, nigga. They say money can't buy.
We're rewarding you for something you already do, listening to us. It's Radio Loyalty, and it's an easy way for you to get free stuff. All you do is sign up. Go ahead and click the banner now. You'll earn points as you listen. Points you can trade in for great products and services in the Radio Loyalty store. You can earn even more points when you share your favorite station with friends on Facebook and Twitter. Radio Loyalty. It's free to sign up, so click the banner to join now.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
Welcome back to the Cocktail Social. I'm your host, Blue Waters. This is Be Exposed Radio, and these are my social lights. And the question that I asked, the cocktail question that I asked before the break was, why did your last relationship end? And Miss K was giving us an earful about the guy that she was dating. You said that he was nobody?
He was a fraud.
He was a fraud?
He's a pseudo-intellectual.
So when you say a pseudo-intellectual, is he like, what do you mean by
What
that?
I meant by that is that, like, he would only regurgitate what he heard about an issue, and then when it got beyond his scope of knowledge, he would change the conversation. Yeah. Like when Cheeto Satan first got in office, I was concerned.
Amen. I had to make it. I was struggling. I was like, Cheeto Satan.
You get a visual?
I did.
Yeah, I started visualizing.
I was concerned about, us being thrown back into slavery and things like that, and I started talking about redistricting and things like that. He's like, that's not possible. Da, da, da. I was like, it's very possible. Like, they can redistrict us. How? The lines are already drawn on the map. Yo, those lines are drawn on the map based on what people say. Like, those lines can change. No, they can't. Da, da, da. I do this every day. This is where I work. Like, what are you talking about? Anyway, such and such and such. And he would change the subject completely because it was outside of his scope of knowledge. We would be in social settings, and because he couldn't contribute to the conversation, he would end up in his phone trying to Google as the conversation proceeded.
Why don't you just go to school?
Honestly, I think he might be on the spectrum. Like, hindsight is 20/20, and that's not. I'm not trying to be funny, but it's like when you look at somebody outside of love and good deed and good head, and you look at them from the outside standing in, it's like you've always had a factory job, like a warehouse job. Like, you've always only done the minimum. If it wasn't easy for you, you weren't trying to do it. But then I felt like that gave him that took something away from the people who are on the spectrum. Because I have a nephew that's on the spectrum. That dude graduated from college and he living his best life right now, and he can have a whole conversation with you about anything. So, but this dude was just a fraud. Like, his life is trying to live off of a woman.
Yeah, he might just be trifling.
He's just trying. Well, you met him.
All I know is I spent $200 in food, and that nigga ate it all in 2 days.
You talking good, sir.
That
Earrings off on his ass.
Yeah, he done.
I came in the house from work. Karen looking in the refrigerator with a hand on her. I said, "Well, what's wrong?" She said, "The food's gone." I said, "What the fuck?"
Shit, his ass with that bitch like the Grinch that stole Christmas and packed everything up. The Christmas.
Let me tell you about Raggedy.
She was looking like, I mean, in amazement.
I'm gonna tell you about Raggedy. No, seriously. I'm gonna tell you about Raggedy, and this was like when you had that. What in the world was I doing? He would bring his son to my house. I would feed them all. He would leave, not contribute to the household. So I said something to him like, "Hey, I'm a single mom. I only got one job. I'm taking care of me and my son by myself. I gotta pay bills and all like that. If you gonna come and you gonna bring your kid, you probably need to contribute." You know what he started doing?
Bringing food for them.
Bringing chicken box.
Bringing food. He would feed both of them before he came to mine.
Oh, but that works too. That works too. Cause goddamn it,
No, it don't. It don't work too. Cause you coming to get some of this good cookie. You hear me? What I'm saying to you? You mean to tell me you can't feed me?
I fried 20 pieces of chicken, made 5 pounds of mashed potatoes, and cooked pounds of collard greens.
You know that's Big Mama at the end of the day. You know that's
and
Big
made
Mama.
a thing of biscuits.
From scratch.
You know that's Big Mama
It was
down
a
there.
Friday. Do you know Saturday morning when we all woke up, Karen looked at me, she said, "Where the food at?" I said, "Fuck if I know." I said, "I put it up."
That was when I was stupid and I didn't know my word.
It was
One
dumb.
day I woke up.
Amen to that.
Amen for being alert.
Know your worth. That's
Alert
the word.
and oriented.
About
Times-
okay.
Yeah.
Are you looking at me now?
I'm
Yes,
looking at you
next.
Mine is such a sad story.
Oh no.
It's horrible. It's really fucked up, actually.
It is.
My last relationship, I was in a relationship.
Hey, Miss Gilliard.
I didn't know who he was. I was like, Smitty?
Yes, it is a thing, honey.
No, I was in a relationship
play
for
your
about,
background
there it is. I was in a relationship off and on for 3.5 years. She was beautiful.
Is that the tiniest violin?
Yes.
Anyway, so she was literally beautiful. Like, that's where she had me. And we were
like them
absolutely
ground
wrong forever
mariolas.
for each other. She got pregnant with twins. That was our first big thing.
Was your
And
twins
it was
or
mine.
was somebody else?
No, they were my twins. It was twin boys, or at least as far as I know, they was mine. I have their picture with me. I keep it everywhere. And 6 months in, she lost them. You know, they lived for a minute. Then that's when our relationship started turning to the sadistic. Because we didn't know how to grieve that, as well as, you know, I was taught the way my father and my uncles do it. I've never seen men more able to rebound in my life. And so that's what I tried to do. I learned recently when Keith passed that I can't do that. That's I don't have that in me. It's not who I am, and I'm killing myself, which is why I went and all that stuff. But they probably can't handle you because they, but so, but after that we broke up, then we got back together, and at this point I was living with Karen, and oh my God, I had so much fun when I was we had a blast.
We did.
It was the best year of my life. However, I get a phone call. "I see that bitch you with. I see her ass."
That's me.
My aunt, mind you.
She's stalking me at my
So
work.
she's at her job. Then followed her to her job. I say, "Karen, I'm at work." I said, "I think Marissa is like."
Did you
following
just say
you."
her name out in public?
Oh yeah. Well, I didn't say her last
Fuck
name.
it, the bitch gone now.
Father God.
Yes. So I didn't get there yet. So she literally followed Karen. Said, "I see her. I see her, bitch." So by this point, my sister called. She ready to go kill her. And but
That's a
anyway,
lot.
we broke up again, and then we got back together again. Because what I found out was at that time, I didn't want to be alone.
I want you to stop it.
And lonely is some shit.
Dito.
So December 2015, me and her got back together for the last time. And it was just some vindictive shit. Like it just was not good. We broke up because we had to, because it was like I'm literally gonna kill you.
You say one more thing, I'm gonna choke shit out of you.
But that breakup, about 4 months later, I got a call from her brother, and she had killed herself. And she had left me a letter, and she admitted to some things. She basically said, it was our breakup that did it. And she said between losing the kids, losing me, and losing, it was
a lot.
A lot of loss.
That's just a
right.
lot. A lot.
It was a lot, and it was at the same time I was going through literally the hardest period of my life up to that point, and I didn't know how to handle it, and I started, shutting down because that's what I do. It's just easy for me to turn off and just completely go numb,
go inside,
and and so
it's rough.
It was so funny because Keith called me 2 days after I went to her funeral, and he said, "Nephew, what's going on?" So I told him everything that happened. He said, "Fuck."
Yeah, that sounds about right.
He said, "We need wings and tacos."
Wings and
And
tacos.
literally, we went and got wings and tacos, and he called it the "fuck that bitch" party. He said for somebody, he said he saw what she did as like, he was like, she did that to really get to you. And
it did.
Her father said that too. She was like, he said, "I really think this was just to get back at you."
But you know what? I think it was that, but I think she really had a lot going on.
It was a lot.
She did.
It was a lot.
And I'm gonna say this
And
for a lot of.
I recognize now, years removed now, that she definitely was. She was not medicated. I found out later that she was bipolar.
She made Christie.
And that she was not. That she had stopped taking her meds because she was happy and everything was going well and she felt good. And,
But then she went into losing children.
And she was manic. I think that she was manic.
Hormonal
for a few
imbalance.
years.
That part, because children will change a lot.
And then I know now that I wasn't useful because I didn't know what to do.
Yeah.
Right.
And so I kind of, again, I shut down on her, and to the point where she went and had another baby.
Oh God.
And then, literally, me and Keith went to the hospital, and she was like, "Hey, this could be our baby." I'm like, "No."
Not no. Yeah. Tati Dunn said the last one for her ended due to her understanding that one, what he was able to provide was not enough for what she was given, and two, he couldn't understand that emotional cheating is a thing. So she ran far away for 4 months and ran into what is now a 2-year and counting relationship. Because emotional cheating really is a thing, whether you like to admit it or not.
And people know your worth. Know your worth. And
Bingo.
For those individuals that is going through something that's dealing with mental health, if you're dealing with an abortion or loss of a child, seek out some assistance, whoever that may be. If it's a spiritual guidance, go to a church counselor, go to a therapist, but find someone that can provide you with the professional help, because it's real out here and things can weigh in on you, and you don't know when the camel will break.
And then people out here that love you even though you think they don't.
Right. So that's a word. And this is the Kocktail Social.
Yes, it is.
I'm your host, Blue Waters. Tune back in after these messages. Ooh.
You are tuned in to BeExposedRadio.com.
So we were talking about critical thinking. So we definitely believe that critical thinking is one of the first things we need to start implementing, not just simply being told things. Or how about this? We tend to listen to people who get assigned certain positions.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? So when they have certain positions, we tend to think that it's truth attached to that because of their position, right?
Right.
Is that always the case, though?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
It's probably one of the biggest reasons we should be doing some critical thinking.
Yes, I agree. I definitely.
Long live Pop. Y'all can go ahead and cry now. I'm gonna show these niggas what to do with one of your beats, man. story should have been on CNN. Nobody knows what it's like being Gwen. Windows closed in the house, it ain't no CNN. Can't gain weight for years, she been being thin. Single mother, no help from the system. When they was giving out food stamps, she missed them. Birth certificate, baby daddy, she couldn't list them. But her son was so beautiful when she kissed him. Blame it on love, but nigga she could've died with. Destroyed the whole world and found out she was a side chick. The nigga loved his wife and it got hard to hide it. So when Gwen confronted him, he ain't even denied it. Her fault, depends on who you asking. She tried to be a stripper, but the tip out was taxing. Buying all the purses, trying to keep up with the fashion. And her mama hated babysitting with a passion. She deserved better, better circumstances. A black queen, she should've been blessed with certain chances. Look down upon, getting all the hurting glances. Making men change up all the twerking stances. She never cried about the pain, only gritted her teeth. But most soldiers never get a flower or a wreath. She like G.I. Jane in the war with no relief. Don't recognize why killers was going through her beef. She said more prayers than the nun did. After seeing so much struggles with only one kid, the clinic said baby number 2 couldn't be undid. 9 months later, delivery and it's one big. But this time it was an older dude. But the shit happened so fast, she barely know the dude. Damn, but we all make mistakes though. And the older we get, that's how mistakes go. So he claimed the baby, now with no money. He said shit was hard and his dollars was kinda funny. Real was feeling like that was strike 2. So when it rains and pours, that's just how life do. She was thinking about her childhood and how life flew. A daddy she always loved, but she never quite knew. This was before the bags and the cellulite grew. Other bitches in her shoe, no telling what they might do. You lose a lot of friends, they start to despite you. Passing judgment when they don't got the right to. And even though I love the game.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
Welcome back to the Kocktail Social. I'm your host, Blue Waters, and these are my socialites.
Hey
we
guys.
never come in right, do we?
Hell no.
No, not
haven't.
ever.
Like,
This is so unprofessional.
She's like, oh, we're back.
So unprofessional.
I didn't mean
okay. So, the question before the break was, why did the last relationship end? And we were, Mr. Gilmore was telling us about his
My
situation.
sad ass failure.
No, it was, and you know what the funny thing is that there are a lot of people that experience something like that. And I had a friend of mine who she was dating this guy, and he was very abusive,
Oh my.
but she loved him.
Yeah.
And when she finally broke it off, he committed suicide.
My
And
God.
the last thing she had was, and she beat herself up about that because she figured she was the reason that he did it. But it's more than just you. There's a lot more going on with those.
Right. A lot of times, shit, somebody kill themselves for you. You be like, what did I do?
Yeah, but
I
you are
could've
not
seen them and
responsible
all
for
of
that
bullshit.
person's happiness.
No,
Like you
you're
can't
not, but, I mean,
take responsibility for their emotional
That's
well-being.
gotta be some rough shit.
You know what I think the hardest part, and this is, I know I'm gonna come off like an asshole here, was after she died, and then putting my life back together from the shit that she had already done to me. And then,
hey Tracy,
meeting somebody, I found out that I was never in love with her.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, shit happens.
I mean, you might have been in a strong like.
No. What was hard about
or lust.
I think it was a mix of like and lust, because I'm at the time I was 34, 33.
33.
And I fell in love for the first time in my life. And that shit was weird, because I didn't know what was happening.
Yeah.
It's like poetry.
It was like every song I'd ever heard.
Right.
Yes, sir.
It was like every
And love is like poetry.
all of that. But I treated that shit like it was a threat. I said, who sent your ass?
Right, who sent you?
Why the fuck you know so much? Like, what's going on with you?
Why you love me, bitch?
Right, yo, literally, like, I thought that shit like it was a damn
Yes,
kill it.
talk about
You got to find it and kill it.
But that was something that you know what, the funny thing is, that's what I always longed for, because I'm a romantic, and I am a true romantic. I like romance.
Romance ain't got nothing to do with rope and duct tape.
It did.
Rope and duct tape.
Depending on
Wait a
what type of
minute.
romance. That's love.
That sounds like love to me.
Bonnie and Clyde kidnapped
But you know what? And so I used to look for that.
was gay.
Really?
Well, I never knew. I'm just finding that
That's
out.
news to
Bonnie
me,
was
child.
his good homegirl. It'd be you and Michelle.
Oh, that makes sense. That makes sense.
But yeah, rope ain't.
I thought they
nothing
was
wrong
lovers or some shit.
I like
Well, tell
rope.
us about why'd your last
Shane
relationship
Talon.
end?
You know
with. He
Shane
ain't spank you
Talon.
hard enough.
See, I haven't ever had a situation where I've had to break up with anyone because everyone loves me. And, yeah, somebody's gonna have to call.
Bullshit!
Yeah, you're right.
I think my last relationship ended because it was kind of like a conflict of interest. He was more so worried about finance. I was more so worried about like the love in the relationship. So it was kind of like, you know, we gotta be financially secure. And I'm like, yeah, you need financial stability, but what good is having financial stability if you
don't fucking love me, bitch?
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like you're not working on the relationship itself. And there were certain things that I wanted, you know, like, I don't know, maybe I was spoiled from a previous relationship where I had someone that was, you know, buy stuff just because. Now, I'm not a money hungry type of person, but I like to be.
They showed you what type of relationship you want.
I like to be considered. You know what I mean? And it was like, you know, like you more so worried about finance. But I was more so like, okay, what
You
good
wanted
is the
romance.
finances without the romance.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
Like we can have an even balance of it all.
Right.
But it just kind of went south. You know, like I mean.
Your love languages didn't match.
Talk, sir.
Say something about
Talk,
it.
sir.
And it seemed like, you know, every time we would go to break up, something would happen. Bring us back together. You know, just, you know, situations or whatever. And it kind of got to the point where it was like, you know, I love you, but I don't think we good for each other. Because it got to a point where it was like, you starting to bring stuff out of me that I normally wouldn't do. You know what I'm saying? You starting to make me be violent.
Ooh,
You know,
not
you
violent,
know,
Jesus.
When we throw a
What you
boot
use-
at your motherfucker,
what you
a
using a
steel
boot?
toe boot. Just hung that bitch from the with a spin on that bitch, make that bitch like a boomerang. Like that.
Oh, she made me snort.
You know what I mean? But you know, I mean, you still love me, but you know, at the same time, it was just like, you know, some shit, just like, you know, I don't know, maybe I'm just looking for that fairy tale type of love. Where it's like, you know, maybe I'm asking for too much. But it's like, I want you to bring me my flowers. I want you to give me cards or do little things just because. And you don't always have to spend money to do this shit. I don't pull them fucking roses out of your neighbor's yard. But do something.
You know what's so funny? My
So
favorite date that I've ever been on happened, I guess, 2 years ago now. And it was at the beginning of my current relationship. And she had a really, really fucked up day at work. And this was on the phone being crabby as a bitch. And I was like, okay. So I said, hey, look, I'm about to come get you. And she was like, you ain't got no money? I'm like, I don't.
You ain't got money to have fun.
No money. When I say I was broke, so I said, all right, this is what we going to do. Got in my car. I went to McDonald's. Got 2 ice creams. Nope. Hold on, got 2 ice cream sundaes.
Sweet and sour.
Hold on. So close.
I can't her so much.
I got 2 ice cream sundaes, 1 large fry, and a iced tea. And then we went. This is such a shit.
Dip them fries in that goddamn Sunday.
And the ice cream.
Wait a minute. Put on 2 Chainz album. You know, Pretty Girls Like Trap Music.
Pretty Girls Like Trap Music.
And we sat in that car, laughed, talked, and just like fed her ice cream.
But see, it don't cost.
And when I tell you,
nothing.
it was like right then. Oh, I ain't gonna say that shit. That's gonna get back, and then I would be in trouble. But at that moment, I was like, "Oh yeah, this is cool. I could do this." Yeah, no. It was everything.
Yeah, because my current relationship is so crazy. Like, it's so everything that I've never experienced before that I'm just riding the wave of it. Like, I've never been in a position where I felt so safe in a relationship. Like, so secure in just being who I am, like unabashedly who I am, and having somebody accept me for exactly who I am. Quirks, weird shit, all of that.
You don't have to dumb down a conversation.
Yeah. That part. That part.
You can be just as nerdy as you want to be.
I can be as nerdy and dorky as I want to.
Right.
And if you don't know it,
every time, every now, like, okay.
I could be over emotional sometimes.
Master,
right.
Yesterday. Man, that shit wasn't in the plan. But I said, you know what? I was like, you know what? I need to clean up my house, get my shit in order so I can be, organized and shit.
Right.
But the creative side of me was like, bitch, you need to create something.
Do some shit.
And I didn't want to crochet, and I didn't want to feel like cooking and all that shit. So I said, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to make a mask.
Right.
But, in the process of me making this shit, guess what? I got boxes all over the fucking place.
Right.
I done cut up shit. I got fucking raffia.
And he thinks it's fucking awesome.
And I'm like, and some people, look at that shit like, why you got all that stuff all over? But that's just what I do. So if you don't accept me for the shit that I do, then kick rocks.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Like,
if
this
you
is
ain't gonna help
new.
with the situation, kick rocks.
It's so new and it's so fresh for somebody to understand who I am and accept me who I am that it's almost scary.
Yeah.
To me, like, it's borderline like
that jelly roll you was sensitive
what the fuck?
About, he be like, oh baby, that jelly roll on the
Listen, all this Jigglypuff that I got going on, he calls it a playground. I don't know nothing about that. He like, yeah, babe, all that playground you got going on. I'm worried about this 20 pounds of grief weight I done gained. He like, listen, you look good to me. You look like a bacon and egg sandwich. It makes me feel amazing, but at the same time, it's so outside of everything else I know that I have to.
Like, is this shit real?
I don't question it. Like, I have to actually.
Right, I feel really uncomfortable.
I have to.
Thank you.
Pay attention.
Exactly.
Like, I had to tune in. I had to actually tune in and be like, "This is what it is, bitch." Be present in this moment and enjoy it for what it is, because this is what life is right now. Like, fuck everything else that you didn't experience.
Right.
Don't go up in your head about what you think it might could be, because 2 + 2 with you, bitch, equal Jello, not 4. So you need to sit in this moment and enjoy it for what it is, because this is so alien to you that you can't diagnose it. You can't make a prognosis on it. Just be in it and enjoy it for what it is.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, and so
it's weird being protected.
It is weird being protected.
It is weird.
And it is, and that's, so the reason why I asked this question, because I think that for me, I've always been, like I said, I'm an extreme romantic. Y'all had some wonderful stories. I was the asshole in my story.
Oh no, not the asshole.
So I was the reason why the last relationship ended.
No,
and it was, now the funny thing is, I'm a long-term person.
Yeah.
So I'm the type of person who, when I get in a relationship, I stick into the relationship, and I have this thing that loyalty is love.
Yeah.
So regardless of what, I
feel that way completely.
I fight to the end for what I believe in. But in this one, I was really young, and the person was young too, and I had an idea of what a relationship was supposed to be, but I didn't know. And we ventured into some dark territory.
Oh boy!
So we started doing some things, and I have to admit, I was the one that was a lot greedy, and I was still trying to figure who I was out.
Right.
And I was also trying to navigate what it meant to be in a relationship, identifying roles. Because in a gay relationship, I was under the impression of that was a role. That, one is the male, one is the female.
Right.
But that's not the case in a relationship between gay men. And so, that's what you thought?
Well, I mean, it's 2 men, so it's got to be masculine and masculine.
No, but there's still.
No, I'm fucking with you.
Wait a minute.
Wait a minute, goddammit! Now I want to be the female, and then I can be the female. Really, it don't matter.
And the person I think for me, I didn't know how to effectively communicate that I wasn't completely satisfied. And the thing that I wasn't satisfied about was that I didn't feel as though I was appreciated. And so I was seeking that appreciation out in other people. And instead of saying, well, this is what I need, or this is, and in my mind, I felt like I had to be a provider, but I didn't feel as though I was providing enough, that I was sufficient. And so I was like, okay, I didn't feel as though I was adequate enough. And so I had to, and it cost me a relationship with a person that I believed in. I mean, we were wonderful together. He was a wonderful guy. Absolutely. I mean, the most handsome guy. I mean, he was really a handsome person, and still is, and everything, and I still love him. But, you know, I really felt like that was something that I had to go through in order to teach me how to be in a relationship now. And so I'm better at relationships, but I think I'm better at communication. I was coming from, and I had to learn how to be selfish in the appropriate way, you know, like for the things that make me feel happy, I need to stand up and fight for and say, this is what makes me happy and this is what I need in order to be happy in this relationship. And I didn't know how to do that then because I was so busy trying to be a pleaser. With that said, we're going to cut to commercial break, and we'll be back with the final segment of our show. This is the Cocktail Social, and I am Blue Waters, and these are my socialites, and this is Be Exposed Radio.
This is the
Whoa. The moment my son saw a redwood tree.
It's huge!
Is the moment I knew that for him,
You can't even see the top of that thing!
even the sky has no limit.
There are some moments only the forest can inspire. Find yours at discovertheforest.org. Learn about forests near you and discover cool things to do when you go. Your moment is out there. Find it at discovertheforest.org.
Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
The Artist Exchange Radio Show every Friday, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m., every Saturday, 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. Real artist, real talk, real live on BeExposedRadio.com.
I was meeting with a friend yesterday, and I've gotten to the point where don't ask me a question because the truth is going to come out. Exactly. Just don't do it.
If you ain't looking for the truth, don't come to me.
Don't do it because I can't hold my tongue. And she wants to be this stylist, boutique, but you're not doing anything in that nature, and I can't take you seriously if you're not doing those things. And I understood why people didn't take me seriously because I found myself in somebody else's lane. I was good at what I was doing and what I wanted to be, but I wasn't doing it for me. So how can I ask you to take me seriously if I'm living in somebody else's shoes?
And nobody can do what you do, and I think that that's a big problem that people face now. Like, you see what somebody else is doing and you want to do that when that's not your lane.
That's not your lane.
That's not what you're supposed to be doing.
But it's popular, it's getting that person money, it's getting that person applause. Oh, I want applause. I want money. Let me stand over here behind them.
And then a lot of times people aren't honest with themselves either. Like, I was thinking earlier today, I've been woke for almost 2 days, so so you get honesty, and I was thinking, like, you know,
The Artist Exchange Radio Show.
You're like an internal bleeder. Can't see your pain, but it can silently kill ya. So deeply wounded, but don't say a thing. Too afraid of what the people may say or think. So you just sit there and you suffer in silence. Your pride won't let you just uncover your secret. Don't wanna look weak in your image, it ain't worth losing. So you just act as if it's nothing happening. God sees you, and God hears you. Yes, God loves you. You're like an internal bleeder. Can't see your pain, but it can silently kill ya. Suicidal, depressed, but you won't say a thing. Too afraid of what the people may say or think. You feel alone even though the people surround you. Popping pills every night even though you know they can't solve it. The emotional pain, it just seems way too heavy. Your mind is racing, wanna scream, somebody help me. God sees you, and God hears you. Yes, God loves you. These type of people sit right under our noses. We don't find out till we're on IG scrolling. We post a few memes, but then it keeps on happening. Something's gotta change, we gotta start talking and telling the truth without the fear of judgment. Gotta come together and really start loving and heal these people cause they slowly dying. Help them believe that their life is worth living. God sees you, and God hears you. Yes, God loves you. I pray there's an end to this suicide demon. We losing people too soon, they cutting and bleeding. They think no one cares, so I wrote this song to tell you, my God, he cares and he can heal you. He sees you when you're crying yourself to sleep, wondering if anybody hears me. You tell yourself you can't go on no more, but your life is worth fighting for.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
Welcome. Here we go again. Welcome.
Your nipple
Welcome
out.
to your nipple out.
Hey, two tequilas and with the salt on the brim and a little
Smitty done called us. Smitty done told us this was last call for alcohol. Last call for alcohol.
He done flicked the lights.
So we were. The last question was, why did your last relation end? And I basically was saying how I was the cause of the last relationship. Now I will say this: I was very apologetic, and I wanted to make the relationship work. The individual made me wait for the longest. Like I was groveling. I was, please, yeah, please. Yeah,
don't go.
Yeah, that was me.
Please don't go.
Yes,
please.
That was me. Please. And he basically was like, "Nigga, fuck you." And so then I was like, "Oh."
Hit the road, Jack.
And then I found my Teddy Ruxpin.
Aww.
And so, and I'm very protective in my relationships.
Yeah.
Because I feel like a lot of times when people find that you have something that you value, what they want to do is they want to sabotage it. But then I'm going to say this. I'm going to say that sometimes I sabotage it too, because I will look for things in other people that I'm not getting in my relationship in somebody else. And sometimes that is...
Yeah, because sometimes you just want a motherfucker to choke you.
Well,
that part.
And if your man ain't choking at home, you gotta find a choking motherfucker out
there. But did you put it out there beforehand? Like, this is what I require in a relationship.
Well, you know what? And I think as I'm evolving, I'm more intense than I was about 10 years ago.
And put the thumbs away, because that's the scary part.
I wasn't as...
Why they don't want you choking.
Wait, what happened down there? I feel like that's the difference in my new relationship.
What you gotta do is, you just gotta be forceful and just spin and
Oh, look at how oh, you make a mace.
He choked me.
You made a mace.
If you don't get
it was his fault, because he beat me.
If you don't get that amateur Pornhub up off of me.
Oh my stars, guys, I quit so hard just now.
Wouldn't a fire alarm beep on it?
That's what you
right.
I'm robbed.
Yeah, give me that pussy.
That is
that pussy.
And see that this is the scene in the video.
See you clamp on the dick that way. You got the clamp on and the motherfucker can't get his dick out.
It's happening.
Pussy season. I want a seasoned pussy. Oh.
Father God.
It was him. It wasn't me.
So
I quit so hard.
So that was me in a relationship, and I think I learned a lot. Doing none of those things at all. And well, no. Now that I'm evolved, I'm a lot more intense.
If they could have zoomed in on my ass, I'd be like.
He tried to say something deep. This is Jerry Springer moment. And he said he ain't fucking it up.
He's trying to be all deep and shit. You know, well, when I was in Harvard, I was encountering a young man. No, motherfucker, you know goddamn well, you motherfucker there.
Baby Dick Duke of Love.
Duke of Love. It was Duke of Love. Oh, we
stop. Get it.
And with that,
Bleu probably super rough with it too.
Well, I'm actually a very, very good dominator when I want to be. I have an iron fist. When I want to, but I like people to try to tame the mind.
Yes, you do.
You beating that hard.
That's the iron fist.
That ain't.
The iron fist. I'm just showing you what you just showed me.
No. So.
Smitty.
Smitty, can we get 2 tequilas with lemon and some salt around the brim? Yeah.
Smitty is at that bar.
Fuck Smitty. Quinishra.
Oh my lord.
Let me get 2 tequilas with salt around the brim.
You know good goddamn well Cornisha can't make no decent drink. That's why we fool with Smitty.
She can't fuck up with no goddamn tequila. She just pouring the shit straight out the bottle.
Watch and see what happens.
And your final thought, Bleu, is?
Smitty.
My final thought is drugs, say no. Alcohol.
Cocaine,
terrible
drug.
Karen, you got it.
Yeah, drugs, say no.
Drugs
Alcohol,
is a hell of a
say
drug.
no. When you get
If he
a
got
thumb
bumps
up
on
your
his
butt,
dick, say no.
If he has bumps.
Jesus.
If she got bumps,
Diesel.
say no.
If it don't smell right.
If it don't smell right, say no. If
got-
you're not being choked right.
If it got popcorn kernels coming out the motherfucker.
Do what you do with food. If it smells funny and got something
Don't
going on,
eat it. Don't eat it.
If it look like cottage cheese.
But you know what's bullshit? Some of that fresh looking shit ain't good for you either.
Some of it has E. coli,
Salmonella,
salmonella. So be very careful out here.
MRSA.
And as you can see, we are enjoying this Friday evening. We had a wonderful time with y'all tuned in to us and our shenanigans here at the Cocktail Social. And I'm your host, Bleu Waters, and these are my social lives!
And we out this bitch.
We here every Friday. Come see about it.
Every Friday.